Oh, it's got the chat thing locked in. Let me turn that off. God, that's annoying. There you go. Right. So, how was your week? I know we've talked many times, but it's kind of nice to catch up,
Been
reassess.
grinding, and it's a problem with the processing like all week, where it's was running out of memory, and I still haven't fixed it. But I got it to the point that I can run it if I only do 250,000 addresses at a time. So
Hmm. Wow, that's gonna take a while, right? Tedious.
yeah, yeah. But it has bursts of over 200 addresses a second. So yeah, it's just tedious. So,
Hmm.
and I think it's related to the database. I think the database doesn't free, or it thinks there are connections open when they're not. And I haven't figured that out. Because in DuckDB, you can do this thing called checkpoint, which
Right.
basically tells it to go and flush the write ahead log into the database and compact it. And um, that complains and throws an exception if you do it. So,
Huh.
yeah. But what I did is I figured out the way I was doing it. I was loading all the address records into memory, and I realized I didn't really need to do that. I could just load um, their um, primary key and then say, go update all these primary keys. And that was shorter than building the objects in memory, keeping them around, passing them around through the different threads, and then pushing it out again.
Grunt work.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so I have been busy. Um, I have some of the. I had hoped to get the like the pre-incorporation stuff out of the way this week, so I could create a bank account and have subscription money funds going into that account, and that would be under the business name or operating as a business name of D Media. That hasn't happened yet. Um, I'm having a friend of mine uh, who has a business address help me with some of the steps. He's thankfully offered to barter services, so I'm going to help him with some of his office stuff that he's having problems with, and he's helping me with this stuff. So hopefully I'll have documents in hand so that I can create a bank account, and then I can turn on subscriptions. So maybe as soon as today. So what was I going to say? I talked with Ari yesterday. And he's been messaging me off and on, which is really helpful. Just yet another person that's thinking differently and thinking about different stuff. So his thinking was that we shouldn't use Stripe because of their past behavior. That may not do any shenanigans here in the near future, but what's going to stop them in the next couple of years? So valid point. So I'm going to look at using Anodot and Revere and one other. The problem may be that their tooling isn't as sophisticated as Stripe. So I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole. If their tooling isn't as, if I can't get it to work, because I got Stripe to work in like minutes. I just haven't been able to turn it on because of the lack of a bank account. So if I can't
We
get
talked about that before. It's like, just if you have something working, that's good enough. I mean, optimizing which provider we use is a success problem.
yeah,
You know?
valid, totally valid. Um,
Yeah.
I'm just stating out loud what I was thinking of. I'll spend a few minutes to look at. I won't like swap out shit, but I'll spend a few minutes to look at the alternatives because I didn't do that. I just configured Stripe, and I won't spend too much time. But I'll just take a look to see if I can configure one or both of them. And if I can, then maybe swapping out, and it might even be cheaper actually because Stripe's pretty damn expensive. If it doesn't seem like it's going to be robust and reliable, then Stripe it is, and we'll just have to pay attention to, keep on top of it. Like I said, and I'm sure you're thinking the same way. I don't think it's going to be a problem over the next 3 years, but could very well turn into one, later on. The immediate drama of people being debanked, I think, is over, but it doesn't mean that it can't restart.
Yeah. Speaking of which, something that I'd rather have you look into is, once I get all this data parsed into a database, I can put it up. We could put it up on DMedia, and it can be like ProPublica for nerds, and I'll write some documents about how you use it, and you launch the UI with it, and then you can do queries against the 990 database.
That sounds great. Would we want to do that under kind of the banner of Dude, I guess? I mean, we can do both, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the source will be open, and you can download it and do all the work yourself. Or I have ground through the database, and you can just download the database, and it will be several gigabytes, and then you can have at it.
Yeah, that sounds great. That's a great idea. That would be a good draw to bring in subscribers.
Yeah. How big is the database right now? Let's see. It is currently 20 gig.
Okay.
So make sure we can host 20 gig and put it up there. And I guess basically we can just manually copy it up to the website because it won't be able to go into GitHub. And then just make sure Vocell won't overwrite it.
Yeah, I'll have to. Okay.
Yeah, put like a file up there just manually, and then deploy the website and see what happens.
Yeah, that's likely going to be definitely too big for traditional methods. So,
Yep.
Okay, and you've built this specifically as. So are you running? I'm not sure we'd be able to run DuckDB. We'd have to maybe look to see if there's a provider of DuckDB out there.
Well, we can export it to something else. DuckDB is a bunch of export options. It's just the best thing for like doing analytics of like all this stuff. And then it has a web interface. You can like kind of tell it, hey, I want you to launch the UI, and then you get a little web browser and you can run queries in it. And I'll build some notebooks of like, this is how you find, a charity, and this is how you find all the charities at that address and things like that.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So I definitely have access to Sepabase, and they definitely can support. I'd have to look at the space limitation. I have a pro account with Sepabase for Kali Doge, so we can start there. I'm pretty. I'll just double check, but 20 gig isn't that huge. I mean, it's big, but it's not ridiculously huge. So I'll look into using them. They've been pretty reliable for me. I've been pretty happy with them. definitely a freemium plus like Clerk and some of the others. So I think there's a lot of benefit to, I'm already kind of used to it, and I think the onboarding of you would be pretty easy. The interface is pretty solid, um, and they're yeah. So I think you'd like Supabase. So I'll look into that. When do you think you'll be ready to dump that?
Oh, it'll probably take a couple of weeks because I also want
Okay.
to
Right.
cross because I have addresses. I want to dive into the PAC data too and see what charities are funneling money to a PAC and then what candidates are benefiting from that.
Okay.
That'll be pretty explosive.
All right. I'll definitely be ready for you by then. And that would be awesome. And that would definitely help drive subscribers, which is in eyeballs. I mean, ideally, I set some pretty high bars for us, but I think they're achievable. We just have to do some things like what you're doing to drive traffic. I set the bar of 10,000 MAU in December. So I
Mhm.
think it's super achievable just by consistently posting, I think, with a variety of contributors, which are starting to do now. Um, both I'm helping out Aladdin and posting for him, but
Oh, let's check and make sure Aladdin's still alive.
no, I just talked to him a little bit ago. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
he's good. He's still alive.
But that's what I do every morning. It's like, is Aladdin still alive? Yes. Okay.
Well, he hasn't gone to the front lines yet.
Well,
So
yeah, but I know, but there are the entire country is a front line, right? I
well,
mean,
it's
that's the
valid.
reality.
It's not exactly the safest place. Yeah, it's valid. Um, but yeah, the last I spoke with him, he's doing okay. It was actually I chatted with him this morning. Um,
How is he doing? How's he doing emotionally?
um, I I think it's up and down. I mean, it's I think he's got kind of that. Um, he's in that kind of I'm I don't know if you want to call it warrior mentality, but kind of like I'm in a stressful situation, so kind of up and down. So I don't want to speak for him, obviously, but from my impression, he's he does seem to be having some down down days, so to speak. But he does seem to, when I'm chatting with him, he seems to be pretty upbeat. So yeah, but we should definitely be asking him that question. Hopefully, he's giving himself somewhat of a break, because doing it 100% of the time or feeling like you are is going to wear him out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the Nietzsche saying, when you look into the abyss looks into you. And he's looking into the abyss right there. I mean, when you're like, oh, block down the street, a drone hit a building. It's like, okay, yeah, that freaked me out.
Right.
Saying that when you look into the abyss.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I went and signed the no tax petition in Oregon because our governor is super lefty, and Oregon is facing shortfalls because they are insisting basically that they have to continue to pay illegal immigrants money. And instead of just saying, oh, okay, yeah, we shouldn't do that, they're like, well, we'll make up the difference. So then it's going to be billions of dollars that they have to make up. So they're like, well, we'll just pass a gas tax of another 17 cents a gallon. And Oregonians are like, no, don't do that. And they rallied and got a petition, and they're like having signing parties. And they
Wow,
need 78,000 signatures to get on the ballot, and they have 200 and something already
that's amazing.
thousand. And yeah, and maybe the government will pay attention. I mean, you're still, this is the problem of living in a state that's controlled by one party and is gerrymandered the shit out of it so that, like, they stay in power and have like 60% of the votes.
Right.
So the Republicans are just mostly resorting to like yelling a lot. But yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. That's interesting that the raising taxes is usually a breaking point for a lot of people. So
Yeah,
interesting.
well, and our gas is more expensive because we have fancy gas. This is the problem in California where you live too.
Yeah,
California's gas has not come down because they have special California gas, and they have higher gas taxes than anybody else. So that's why the average around the rest of the country is like $2.80 or whatever, and in California it's probably like 4.80.
yeah. It's and we import a sizable amount of our gas now from other states. So we impact other states because obviously, if a refinery is making special gas for California, then they're not making gas for everyone else, and so that raises the cost of everyone's gas in the West Coast or
Yeah,
the
you have
Western
more
state.
additives and more expensive additives too.
Yeah, it's all it compounds. The stupidity
Yeah,
compounds,
there's
unfortunately.
special Golden State gas.
Yeah, I'm beginning to wonder if we deserve to have that moniker of golden. It's feeling more and more like
Yeah,
it's.
you're rapidly becoming the copper state. You're going to have to trade with Arizona for the name.
Yeah, that might be accurate. Okay, so let me share something with you before I lose sight of it. Um, so I've been talking to Michelle, and she was nice enough. Let me share that part of my screen. Replace. Okay. I've been talking to Michelle. So this is the live site right now. I've been working on it.
Yeah, I reposted your article. Oh,
Nice.
actually, it's Brian's article.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I reposted it and said that it was Brian Clifton and that he was a fellow traveler.
he is a fellow traveler. So I had a really nice conversation with Brian. Caught up with him yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Um, and basically, I did a big, huge scrape of Stephen's stuff, his tweets, his collected works, like a month ago,
Mhm.
and I reposted a lot of his tweets on the website I set up for him,
Mhm.
and then so I haven't like gone back to that well, so to speak, because obviously there's been other things to grab my attention. So now that we're
Wait, stop.
sure,
Send me that link because the next
yeah,
time I pimp Steven, I will push the link to the website of like, if you want to check out Steven, here's his greatest hits.
certainly. Hold on a second. I'll drop it here in the public chat. So that's the site, the website I set up for him. It's relatively static, kind of on purpose, so that it's more reliable. Um, but it is basically his greatest hits at this point. Um, so what I've started to do is I've added to it. I did so I already had his 2025 tweets for the most part posted, and there's a lot of them as you can expect. So they weren't organized or whatever. It's just kind of a raw view of his tweets because it's possible to do on X, but not easy, especially not for most people. So this is a really easy way to share his stuff, his collected work so far. So then I said, okay, this is a great source of information. So I basically data mined that for to create a markdown document because this previously was in HTML. So then once I had that of images and markdown, then I used that to create groups of topics, and using Claude, it's as good as it can be because it's just a massive amount of data. There's no way I could do it. I don't think he has the time or feels like he has the time to do it. Certainly not now, if ever. So I used Claude to create a grouping of 18 different topics, and I created markdown documents from each of those. it had some problems with images for whatever reason. So I was able to add placeholders. So long story short, I have created a kind of greatest hits, if you will, of his work on a particular topic. Oops, wrong place. I thought I had it up. Interesting. Oh, there it is. Okay, starting to lose my mind. So what I did is I posted it for him. It's rather lengthy, as you can expect, and it's specifically on basically the most kind of raw data point of or topic of Doge, which is questionable federal spending. So it's basically a article version of kind of his greatest hits, and kind of counted them up. It can probably be improved a little bit, but I wanted to get something out. So I posted this yesterday. So circling back while I'm even talking about this. So I talked to Brian. It's like, hey, dude, I can do the same thing for you, because he has been writing articles on X. Articles on X are a bit clunky. They don't work as well as we hope they would. So what we're going to do is, and he might still keep posting to articles. I think perhaps he should. I don't think there's any downside. That keeps his brand going and gives that option for people to see his published work. But we're going to. He's taken an X archive where he was going to work on this yesterday. I haven't caught up with him again yet. And then I'm going to basically do what I did for Steven for him. I'm going to create a collected version of his tweets. And then I'm going to, from that, because he's already written a bunch of articles. Then I'm going to basically use exactly the same code, because I've already written it, to go for keywords and do a search and create a bunch of reference. For him, it'll be more reference material of his greatest hits in 2025. That'd be great material, hopefully, for him to maybe write new articles. So as a journalist, I think that'd be great support I can give him. But then he'll also be able to get his articles from that archive dump. So then we'll be able to start reposting his work on DMedia, which you saw, and I have it posted at the top. What we can do is some others, because there's a lot of other media journalists on X that are doing the same thing. They're more like Steven, where they're posting a lot of stuff. Like maybe Danielle is doing this, Jenica is doing this, where there's just a ton of material they're posting, but it kind of lives on X, and it's kind of, that is, so to speak, the database of their work. And what I'd like to do is to give them more access to it, make it more accessible, so that they can build on that, rather than kind of a thread or a particular post isn't just a one-off, and it's kind of hard to go back and reference it. If I can give them that repository of, here, this is what you've done so far this year. Here's some ideas for the material topics that you've already spoken on, and give them the opportunity, obviously, to write articles for DMedia, but also give them the idea of new articles or even new threads that they could be writing. So anyway, does it sound like a good plan? Or
yeah, I mean, I think you see the people who were writers, professional writers, they have Substacks and things like that they push people off to, right? Because the format's nicer, right? And
sure,
Jenica, she does these giant threads, and they're tedious to read. But if you use Thread Roller Unwrap, then you get an article, but you don't get the engagement there.
Right? Thread Roller Unwrap. What is that, a utility?
Oh, have you ever seen a thread unroller? Or
no, I don't think so.
I can't remember. Yeah, you say can't remember the name right now.
Is
Let's
that
see.
like a
Let me look.
utility
It's
or a
like a
library?
site, and you say thread
Oh,
roller something, and then it will roll up a thread into an article for you on a website.
oh, interesting. Okay. Um, all right. Well, I'll have to check it out. If there's code or a function that I don't have to rewrite, that'd be
Oh,
awesome.
yeah. Thread reader app, I think
Thread
it's called.
reader. Okay.
Yeah. So you'll see people, they'll say, hey, thread reader app, and unroll or something like that, and they will pull it in.
Uh, okay. I'll check it out. Um, so, so I'm hoping that I can attract more people by not only providing this kind of, infrastructure, if you will, or um, idea factory,
Uh-huh.
because there's a few people. Well, there's multiple people that have just they're interested in writing stuff, but they're not, um, typical journalists. They don't have that kind of mindset of, oh, I've got to write, weekly or daily or whatever, because that's not typically their official career. But hopefully, with this kind of resource, I can help them kind of maybe bridge the gap to maybe posting at least an article at least once a week, which
Uh-huh.
is really kind of the objective. I think if I could get maybe a rough number of 10 people posting once a week um, on interesting current Doge related topics, I think D Media will be a success.
Yes, I think it will too.
Um, so anyway, let me. So maybe I need to be a little bit more official about doing this as a service, so to speak, for journalists. Um, let me
Yeah,
write.
you should set a chat group up too. That'll be like the dude repost group, and then we can all go in the chat and we'll get links when you want us to pimp something out, and we'll all repost
Right,
whatever it is.
like a journalist room or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, uh,
Call it the marketing room.
I like it. Okay, that's actually I think being oh, being a little bit more official about that. I think makes a lot of sense. Oh, and I am just randomly clicking things now. Okay. Okay. Would you say marketing room?
Yeah.
Uh, uh, I like it. Um, so, the people I've talked to, I'm going to do this off the top of my head. Probably not going to be perfect, but the people I've talked to that have contributed something or are kind of sort of involved is uh, maybe Michelle. I assume her name's Michelle. Michelle something. I actually haven't. She initially. Well, anyway, I'll just list off the names. People that have expressed some kind of interest. So Michelle on trucking. Um, Another Michelle actually on art, and I got some of her art published. I
Mhm.
started to ramble about that, and seemed like you were on board. Oh, this is gonna freaking crash again. Jesus, I got to figure this out. There's something wrong with Chrome, or something wrong with what's going on.
Are some of those videos?
No, they're not.
Mm.
For some reason, running dmedia on Chrome on my laptop is causing it to go crazy and crash Chrome, which is I don't know if it's a combination of, well, I don't know what it is, but I'm mostly using dmedia, so that's when I'm noticing it.
Let me go to dmedia and see what I see. Let's see, dmedia.
It's only happening occasionally, and it's usually after I restart my computer. So I think it's a quirk. Hopefully, it's just a quirk with my box and my setup.
Okay, and you were in art. Most types. Okay, so Magic Shell. Not crashing for me.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's my box. It's my problem. Um, okay, so let me restream. Let me make sure that I log in as myself, so everything doesn't go to crap.
Okay, art and creativity. Wow, big booby girls. I'm a fan of big booby girls. I'm not a boob man particularly. I'm a butt man, but it's okay.
Nice to know that you are multidimensional. Okay, hold on. Doing this wrong. Sorry for the pause. Just want to make sure that they don't crash the feed.
No, it's okay. I was looking at Shell's art.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I'm gonna kill Chrome.
Cool echo. This site is really well done, by the way. Oh, you quit. Oh, art.
Okay, got it restarted.
Yeah, it doesn't crash on me. I was clicking all around, not a problem. So it's something with your computer.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to. Uh, I was doing some deep dive on Chrome Developer, and I wasn't able to figure out exactly. It's like a memory leak, or a video memory leak on Chrome. So anyway, might be something underneath Chrome that's causing Chrome to crash. Anyway, I will keep digging on that and see what's happening. So I'm glad you like the way that the site is set up. It's it's definitely a combination of. Let me go back to sharing my screen so we're looking at the same thing. So it's definitely a combination of I'd say 3 different sites at this point. 404 Media, Daily Wire, Wall Street Journal, and Real Clear Politics. So I've tried to take good, important capabilities of all 4 of those and kind of meld them together.
Well, I like the idea of tunneling. That's a thing I really like to build into websites, of letting people click on things and so on. So I can click on a person's name, I can click on a topic, I can, and then I get more stuff for that. That's very handy.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Something I want to tell you is a Mac OS trick is you go to Apple and you download the most recent combo updater and install it, because that tends to refresh everything in your operating system. and
Okay.
it's kind of a soft reinstall.
Okay.
Try that. You can also try deleting Chrome and reinstalling it because it
Yeah,
self-updates
it's
and who knows
definitely.
how that works.
I think at this point it's a step I need to do.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. Yeah, I'll definitely try that step if reinstalling Chrome doesn't work. I doubt reinstalling Chrome is going to work. It seems to be more fundamental. Um,
Yeah.
Chrome. Okay, so what else? So I talked to you a bit about Michelle. Oh, I was rambling about contributors. So I also just a slight interesting thing. I created a normalization function. So what's for slugs. So all the articles going forward will have both a kind of a back end reference. So it'll be story and ID number.
Uh-huh.
They'll be supported, and we can use that for various functions. But there'll also be for the general users. There'll be this long form normalized title slug. So, as an example, this taking out the spaces and the commas and the special characters essentially, and making them so that it's a clickable link. Um, that's obviously a pretty common practice. I did update the about. I know I'm going off topic again. So it's just the three of us, you, me, Jenica. I am thinking about starting to add contributors on here as well. And I'm thinking of that still that we probably will have a handful of people that want to be quote unquote on the team, and
Uh-huh.
actually, and then there'll be a lot of other people that want to be just contribute occasionally, like the once a week contribution, and that they're good with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems to be from the people I've talked to, probably the two types of people that we'll be working with. So anyway, to go back to my mental list of contributors so far. So two Michelles, one on trucking, one on art. Um, I haven't talked to Jenica yet. I haven't really made a huge effort either. I've just messaged her a few times over X, and I'm sure that's completely lost in the noise right now.
Yeah.
But I'll make now that now that we're very close and the site is pretty much done. I'm going to try to not fiddle with it too much anymore because it's just make it fragile. So I'm going to reach out to her and see if I can offer this, basically offer help rather than me just asking her to do something for me. I'm going to say, hey, let me help you, and hope maybe even doing some of this, building this research off of resource off her tweets would help her with her book, maybe even. Who knows?
Yeah.
So Jenica is on my to-do list. Mark Joffe, I've got him on board, but I need to give him a little bit more structure. He's actually a pretty well-known writer, financial guy, good friend, known him for a number of years. So he's on board. I just need to give him a little bit more structure, and he'll probably start posting stuff. He posts in a lot of different places, so that would be good for the organization, give us more
Mm-hmm.
credibility or journalism credibility. Oh shit! Now I'm losing track. With Brian, Stephen, um, uh, missing one. There's one other person. So I think we need to recruit a handful of more people.
Oh, did you follow up the ones I sent you that are sort of data Republican adjacent?
I did not. I've been way too um, multitasking. So remind me how you sent them to me. Did you email them to me? I think.
I think I sent you a DM. Let me look.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Sure.
sorry. I've
I
been
might have emailed
so
it to you.
fractured. my attention. I'm trying to go back and use my Obsidian notes as much as possible, but it's proving to be.
I must have sent an email. Let's see. Yeah, because Data's head down on the book now.
Of course, yeah. Well, I mean, she's got a real deadline. All the deadlines we have are all self-imposed. She's got a publisher and probably an advance to worry about, and people relying on her. So hold on one quick second. I've got somebody who's helping me with the business stuff. Colin, I'll be back in a second.
Okay. New project. Huh. Oh, let's do that. I can't find the email right now. So I guess I didn't email it to you. I can't find the conversation either. Oh, you're on the phone. Okay. Okay. Back to messages. No, I don't need to clear.
All right. So my friend dropped off the paperwork. So
cool.
Okay, so yeah, he did a bunch of legwork. I just basically talked to him earlier in the week, and he just went out and did it. So, which is really helpful. Gave me time to code and talk to people. So, yeah. If you want to, I mean, we could just talk about it now if you want. The other people to contact, or you can email me, or
yeah, I'll have to email you a new list because I can't find the old one and I have to regenerate it. I mean, I know Lab Tech Lee is one of them, and I know.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Lab Tech Lee. It's basically people that Data Republicans has reposted because they've done good analysis.
And this is in addition to the few people that you reached out to over email. You were asking.
I have not reached out to them yet. I was delegating that to you. Reverse delegating.
No problem. Yeah, well, I've kind of got my pitch going for contributors, so that's no problem. Okay.
Yeah, I just have to scroll through Data's timeline and write down the names.
Got it. Appreciate it. No, they'll be incredibly helpful. Let's see what else. So I am a giant moron, and I didn't buy a ticket to AmericaFest when it was only $50, which was, I could have very easily done that. Didn't, and now they're sold out. So
yeah, after you were nagging us all, and we were having meetings every week about it. And this
I'm an
meeting is
idiot.
still titled America Fest or Bust, and you did not get the tickets.
Yes.
I got the tickets, or I
Yes.
might got myself a ticket early,
Yeah,
and
I know.
it
I
just should
know.
have been him.
It's people that can't teach, right, or something like that. I don't know. I feel like a real big idiot.
Well, and
So
you're talking to the America Fest people too.
yes, I have been. So um, I will. I'll poke around to see if I can get a ticket from somebody that got some extras, but it's possible at this point that I won't be able to go to that conference.
You could
Anyway,
also fall on your sword with the America Fest people and say, I was an idiot and didn't get the ticket.
yeah, and
And see
maybe
what
they
they
have an
say.
extra they can share with me. Since yeah, no, you're right. Actually, that's probably actually a place to start. Because I do want to build that relationship and maintain it. So, all right. So I'll write a note to myself. Needs to.
Your
Okay.
messages in the chat.
I'm sorry. What's that?
Yeah, I said we have messages in the chat, but yeah, you sent me
Yeah,
Aladdin homepage.
yeah, it's Ladin's link to his site.
Your private chat from last week. I think I sent it to you in the private chat. That's why I can't find it.
Oh, and I didn't. I wonder if
Yeah, you didn't copy
that's.
it down quick enough. Yeah, I don't think it archives it.
Yeah. Okay. My bad. Sorry
Well,
about
lesson learned. Email you.
that. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Uh, okay. So as far as accommodations, I assume you haven't gotten anything yet. So,
No, I haven't. But we
so
should get going on that because it's November 22nd, and
yeah, it's
we
soon.
want to get. If we want an Airbnb, we should get on it.
Yeah. So, give me like early to mid next week to see if
Mhm.
I can, what I'm going to be able to do. Um, and, we can go from there. So, so it would be awesome if we could get an Airbnb together and then
Mhm.
try to get it as close as possible to Jenica, and at least the three of us could meet up. That'd be
Mhm.
cool. And just we'll see what we can do. Then whoever else can show up, then great. Um, okay, so um, Steven's telethon. I've been bugging him, and he's been distracted. So I think maybe Regina offered. I assume that offer is still on the table, even though it was like a week and a half ago now. So I think what maybe we should do is just pick a date, tell Steven, this is when it's going. This is what hours of this 12-hour session will you be able to join, and just do it. Um, so what we can do is Regina wants to use her tools, which makes perfect sense. So she uses StreamYard. Um, I believe she does have the ability to give us a few temporarily admin access, which allows us to log in and configure different channels. So like T Media or California Doge, and then we wouldn't necessarily have to be we wouldn't have to join the stream as it's going. She could
Mhm.
use that configuration, just plug them in and just start streaming, casting to those. Um, Another alternative is if you don't have an admin seat, then just joining early, and then that will give her the ability to add to stream to your stream, I believe, or to your account, both YouTube and um, X, I believe. And then you can actually drop off, and it will continue to, I believe, stream to those. So joining earlier or admin access is kind of part of the setup. I actually I have some notes on how to set, kind of the pre-setup stuff that we need to do.
Mhm.
Um, And so, yeah, I think we just need to pick a date sometime next week, perhaps, that works maybe at least for you, me, and Regina, maybe to start with.
Yeah, and if you preload the stream with content ready to go, then it's really easy to like tap on it. So we can do things like have a map of Crimea, and then we can show how like the reason the Ukrainians are like in 2014 was that there's like one bridge to get to Crimea, and what Aladdin told me is that a bunch of retired Russians lived there, and so they're like all happy for Putin and so on. So Russia grabbing the Crimea was like, oh, okay, they got the one island, and there's one
Sure.
bridge to go there. So
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
No, that's a great point. Regina has offered, which is a certain amount of work, is to grab a bunch of his Ukrainian videos, which he has quite a few now since he's shown up. Him going to Ukraine and then actually in Ukraine, and stitch it all together into a loop and just have that run on the side, and then occasionally jump into the audio of it, and then jump out when there's guests. And I would assume part of the screen would also be, donate here to his GoFundMe. So that's probably going to be on the screen at all times. So, she's already, she came up with that on her own. There's a few other ideas she has, and obviously we want to pick a date far enough out so it can get promoted across different places, so that there'll be a good number of attendants. And hopefully, obviously, the real point is to get him funded.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's that. So I talked about setting up D-Media and kind of the steps. Something that's on my list to do, I guess it's pretty close to a priority now, is to set up 50 state Doge status. I'd done this, and it's actually posted on Cali Doge, but it's kind of buried. It's not easy to find. So I'm going to take that and update it and push it, move it rather, to dogenetwork.org and then repost it on D-Media and repost it on X, so people are aware that's out there as a resource, and encourage people to update it as well, because there's a variety of people that we have that are kind of doing Doge state related things, like Oregon and Hawaii and some others, but they're kind of doing their own thing, which is totally fine. But at the very least, hopefully, if we create this kind of resource, I can kind of cross promote, and maybe they decide to get more involved, and collaborate. Maybe they don't. But a side effect that I'm hoping to do, and I just haven't had time to really focus on it, is that through our network that we have now, there's a variety of contacts in state offices, and there's a variety of state offices that have actually either repurposed or created new teams that they're calling Doge something for that state, and they're actually trying to do some of that work. I haven't seen any, and I haven't updated, checked in on any of them over the last month because I've been distracted, but by and large, they're really well intended, but they're all, lawyers and politicians. So they have the same old problems of, really great intentions, but none of the engineering skills to actually make it happen. Yep. So we could, the more we can plug in with those folks, and maybe even plug them in with people in their state that are doing Doge kind of like Cali Doge kind of efforts, and put them together, then all the better. And I think we could really provide some value there. Any thoughts on that, or is it?
No, it's all great. Like another person we should reach out to is just showing the power of citizen journalism is that Chris Rufo guy dug into the Somali autism thing, and Trump said, okay, that's it, no more Minnesota, no more funds for Minnesota or whatever, or no more amnesty for civilians. They
Yeah. Well, I
probably
mean,
had an argument for like the traditional amnesty, not amnesty, asylum. They probably had an argument for asylum, but when they're taking the money and funneling it back to the terrorists in Somalia,
yeah,
yeah,
it's a
no,
problem.
yeah, you fuck around, you find out.
Yeah. Uh, wow. How do you spell amnesty?
It's not amnesty, anyways. It's asylum,
Oh,
which is
asylum. You're right.
yeah, ASYLUM. And the thing that Biden did is he said economic asylum was okay, so you could just be like poor, and then that counted,
Yeah, which is yeah. Well,
which is
it's
different. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of all the other countries are poorer than America, so everybody can come here. I don't think so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen? Oh, God, it's buried somewhere away in my brain. But there's a really good video from I think it's the mid '80s about when Thomas Sowell was really popular at the time. Kind of probably attributed to Reagan, but he he did a. This guy was doing a presentation. I believe he's an economist. I can't pinpoint his name. I can see the video in my head, but anyway, it's an auditorium kind of setting, and he's up on stage, and he's has a bunch of jars of gumballs, and he gives a presentation of exactly what you're talking about. Is that this is the world, this is U.S., this is immigration, and he did this whole presentation about economic asylum and why it sounds great. Obviously we want to be helpful. It's in most people's nature, no matter what your country, but
Mhm.
there's limits because the way the world works and the way that the world operates. And it was extremely good way of presenting the facts with physical objects, and it was all with gumballs and glass jars, and it was really good. I need to dig that up. It's
I
supremely
was ex-
interesting video.
I always explain to people that volume matters. Like if somebody knocks on my door and wants to use my bathroom, sure, it's right this way. If a
Right?
busload of Japanese tourist knocks on my door and wants to use the bathroom, no, that's too many, right? That's too many people.
that's that's an interesting analogy. Uh, yeah. Um, okay. Um, I did reach out to the Dylan Law Group. Um, I did it in a very, using a web form, and it's probably the least effective way of doing it. I'm sure they get spam and all kinds of crap to that web form, so probably got shuffled in with like 1,000 pieces of spam they've gotten this week. But I do have one or two contacts that I haven't triggered yet. But I think that the time
Remind
is.
me who the Dylan Law Group
Oh,
was.
sorry. So Harmeet Dillon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So she's a big deal in California. She was part of the Republican party leadership at one point. She dropped back from it. Uh, I she's not one, I think, to talk ill of folks, and she's being a lawyer. I'm sure that's part of her personality. But the Republican Party in the state is just a god awful mess. There's tons of infighting. Obviously, we've talked about how that infighting has been distributed to the counties, and it's a shit show. Um, but she has obviously been very prominent for a long time as far as advocating for less than popular, culturally popular issues, and being on I believe, very measured and right side of issues.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
and,
I love her. She's
and
great.
being a
She's like
civil rights attorney, gives her a
yeah.
lot of credibility. She is no shrinking violet. So anyway, she started her law group years ago, primarily as civil rights, and it's grown. I actually don't know how much they gross, but it's a decent sized law firm, and it's relatively active. And obviously, she's stepped back from it now that she's working in the Justice Department.
Mhm.
But they take on a lot of good, solid, you could say conservative issues.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they consider themselves to be party affiliated. That would probably wouldn't make a lot of sense. But they take on, generally a lot of really smart, on the right side of the facts issues. So um, I would love to have them at the very least as lawyers advising us as we move forward and do stuff like D media. There's tons of permutations, especially in California law, um, but also things like Stephen at D Media or us supporting Stephen as he does some of the work that he's doing, and how do we do that in a way where we not only don't put ourselves at financial or legal risk, but how do we do it in a way that we're actually going to make an impact. I'm been around enough lawyers to kind of be sort of dangerous, but I'm certainly there's no way that I would want to be the legal advisor for any of the work we're doing. So I'd much rather have somebody that's knowledgeable and maybe could donate their time even better, like the Dillon Law Group. They would be probably first on my list because they take on this type of, well, there's a lot of good reasons why. So anyway, very rambling. So I reach out to them. I'm going to reach out to them through my contacts, and if they're not interested or unable, then I'll try to get more names from them at the very least. And then if that doesn't work, then I'll start expanding the reach. But essentially, I'd like to, I think networking wise, it makes a lot of sense. But also, I think we're at the point where we need legal advice. And Stephen asking, hey, I want to go to the front line. I need these things. Spun me up and got me going down the path of, how could I do that? So definitely forming a business and setting up the D Media as a journalistic site gives him the kind of underpinnings which would make it even possible for us to support him on his application to the Ministry of Defense Ukraine. Because
that'd be great. Yeah. And by the way, for future reference, with the light coming behind you, you look like you're in the witness protection program.
Yeah, I could do it like this.
There you go. Yeah. It's a little better.
All right. Maybe I was trying to be mysterious.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I would assume, if Stephen, as well as other journalists that may want to go travel, are going to have similar problems getting press passes. So, or needs, I'd say. I'm hoping, he's talked about Stephen has talked about, Ukraine and other areas that are relatively dangerous. I'd love to encourage one or two journalists in Brazil and Argentina is just off the top of my head. There's a lot of stuff that is Doge related that's going on there. Obviously, much different situations in a lot of different ways, but very same problems. And certainly, just using those two countries as examples, there's been current and former political figures that have done and tried to do very similar things to what Doge stands for. It's trying to improve in our country. So it'd be great to encourage or collaborate with one or two people from those areas, if not more.
It'd be
Obviously,
great to get somebody from Argentina too.
What's that?
It'd be great to get somebody from Argentina too.
Definitely, yeah. Argentina definitely. They're probably highest on my list just because it would probably be the least dangerous for somebody at this time to do that kind of reporting. And obviously, the government is trying to right themselves and have had some success. So it would be a very interesting success story, if you will, or at least on the path to
Yeah,
success.
yeah,
Brazil
hitting
might
the
be
bottom
kind of
and
dangerous.
bouncing off.
What's that?
Hitting the bottom and bouncing off.
The bouncing off?
Well, yeah, because they were going down, right? And their
Oh,
economy was so much in the toilet. This
yes.
libertarian economics guy was like, "We got to scrap everything," and the populace was like, "What do we have to lose?"
Yeah, and I mean it's an amazing story, and just the most recent success of the recent election that he had, where he actually gained seats, is just I didn't think it was going to happen, but it is definitely the Chinese influence in South America is teetering. It's not as strong as it used to be because the previous Peronist government, not to totally deep dive in this, was basically being propped up by the Chinese, much like how Cuba was propped up by Russia in the past. Not so much today. So they're running out of money, and they were spreading money around everywhere over the last decade, and they're just they're another issue. But that would be crazy dangerous to have somebody report from China what's going on there. But yeah, at least this is in our backyard, so to speak, and so I think it's an easy argument to be made of D media being Doge related, publishing, reporting on near countries that are doing similar stuff, if not talking specifically about funding from our government and how that's been spent or misspent, but just their efforts to emulate or reproduce what's been started here. So I think it would be interesting and a good story, and hopefully drive subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
Allow us to help more people. So that's it for what I have. Things to talk about. Is there anything that you wanted to follow up on?
No, I've just been grading on data. I got to post my daily news thing. And when we're done, that'll take me about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I got to put together my wife's new walker, and I'll go visit her. So.
Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah, nothing new on my side. Everything's basically the same. So sounds like the same on you. You got that delivery from Amazon. Sounds like.
Yep. Yeah, there was a bunch of drama with the post lady because she was gonna put a note in my mailbox to make me come get it at the post office because she didn't want to drive up my driveway, but she did it anyways. And so then I helped her get it out of the truck, and then I was leaving anyways to go sign the petition for the no taxes. So I said,
Right.
well, I will pull out of the driveway and then you can do a 3-point turn. And then she did that. She was like, I don't know if I can come up your driveway anymore. And I'm like, I see that. I can see that that's a problem. They have these big new trucks with the giant windows. But I guess she doesn't know the trick that if you're backing out of a driveway or somewhere narrow, worry about the left side of your car. Especially if you went up that way. If you went up that way, the driveway is wide enough. So you don't worry about the right side of the car. You just drive to the left side of the car, and you can hang your head out the window if you want and be like, okay, I am driving 2 inches away from the left-hand side.
Use the mirrors. That's what they're there for.
Maybe it's harder with the mirrors, but yeah. So when I went to Caltech, we had this really narrow driveway with cement walls to get into this one parking lot that was next to where I lived. And I got where I could just back into that at speed, So,
well, I would be very surprised if those trucks don't have cameras on the sides and the back. I mean, it'd be crazy for them not to. I'd be very surprised if they don't. So,
If I'm backing out of my driveway a lot, that's only partially helpful. I mean, I have a backup camera and it has lines that turn as I turn the wheel and stuff, but it doesn't quite go where the lines say. And what I have to watch out for is I'm backing up and then the front swings around dramatically as I'm doing
right.
that. And I'll bump into things at the front because I'm looking at the back. So
Ah,
I don't know.
yeah. Hopefully she can figure it out.
Well, she made it out of the driveway, so it was all good.
There you
She did the 3-point turn. So
go. Okay. So I'm going to try to keep these meetings more timely so that we don't burn the entire day, because I could certainly sit and shoot the shit with you. So um, uh, there's nothing else I can think of that we need to talk about. So I'm going to make some progress in some of these additional things. I feel like I made a lot of progress this last week with the website and contributors. So it just, to a certain extent, just a bit of consistency, probably, of just incrementally adding more people, and I think setting up that message room so that we're chatting as a group about stories and providing help if they need it. I think probably would be helpful and help drive things forward. I want to take myself out of the middle of some of these things as soon as possible, because it's certainly having somebody motivate you is good initially, but I'll quickly become an impediment if people are
yeah.
having to rely
Well,
on me.
yeah, fair enough. Start the chat room and get everybody pimping our articles, and then it should be eventually self-sufficient. We'll just post there, and we'll know it'll go out, and everybody will be like, "Oh yeah, that's a great article." Blah blah blah.
Right. What I should do is figure out a utility or a function to automatically post, because I have this social media card set up, which seems to be working pretty well. So it's going to grab an image, grab the title, and it's if you post to different social media sites, it will automatically grab those things. I haven't tested it on all social media, but I probably should do that. Anyway, but I should probably go the extra step of when you post it immediately, it automatically does that under certain accounts. Or at least I set up the script to fire it off so that it makes it less of a burden to do those things. Because right now I'm doing it completely manually. That's not a good plan. Okay. Anyway, all right. Well, I will let you go if there's nothing else. Don't be a stranger if you want to shoot the shit or need somebody to talk to. As always, reach out and say hey, and I will pick up.
Okay.
All right.